Hey Simon, it's Rob, and I'm just down here at Mum's, and I've just got my DX6, and yours is probably exactly the same. It's got the X on the front, which means it's the DSMX version, and therefore you've probably got the same receiver, which is the AR6210 with a little X on it, and the satellite's also got an X moulded into the plastic, so that's the DSMX version. Anyway, I've just bought a couple of cheap little $5 servos from the Hobby King store at Caringbah just to test my my receiver, and obviously a little receiver battery pack which didn't come with it. I've got the bind plug in, which is on the extreme left hand side. It's actually labelled bind. I've got the left servo plugged into the throttle channel. I've got the right servo plugged into the elevator channel, and you can plug the power into any other channel. As you know, it doesn't really make any difference. Now I've selected model memory 2. I've got the radio off at the moment. Before you do a bind, really important that you set all the trims to neutral, set the throttle all the way to idle, set the idle up switch off, and everything in the normal position, if that makes sense. Okay. What I'll do now is I'll turn the power on, and you'll see the light starting to flash. There you go. You can see the satellite and the main receiver starting to flash, and that's showing that the devices are ready for binding. So now what I do, I don't know if yours is different being mode 2, but my bind lever is on the right hand side, and it's the spring loaded one. So basically you hold it, and while you're holding it you turn it on and you keep holding it, and you just watch the receivers. Okay, when you get 2 steady lights, then you can release the bind switch, and that's the bind. Okay, now I'll then check the throttle channel works and the elevator channel works. So that's all good. Okay, very important now that you power down, remove the bind plug, just pull that out, and I normally recycle the transmitter as well, and turn it on, turn on the now you'll see with the DSMX it'll connect virtually straight away. If it's operating in DSM2 mode, you sometimes get 2 to 3 seconds delay before it will actually connect. So turning it on now, okay, you can see it came on virtually straight away, so that's good. Alright, let me show you how this fail-safe system works. Okay, the receiver will remember the position of where the controls and the switches were on your radio when you first did the bind. Okay, the fact that we've now got both lights back on means it's a good bind, and both the satellite and the main receiver is correctly bound to the radio. Because the lights came on straight away when I turned it on, I know it's in DSMX mode. Now let me show you this fail-safe. Remember, we had the throttle in the idle position. Let's just put it up to full throttle, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to power down the radio, simulating a loss of connection between the transmitter and the receivers. Let me just put it a bit closer so I can zoom in a bit. Okay, just turning it off. You'll see immediately the throttle went to idle. Okay, all the other channels are just going to go wherever the radio was set up. Now you'll also notice the receiver is flashing a red light. That's telling you how many times you've actually lost connection with the transmitter. So let me just turn the transmitter on again, and it reconnects and the throttle goes to the relevant position. Let's put it in the middle this time. You see the red light is still flashing. So it's going to give you an indication of, you know, whether you've got any disconnection with the transmitter. Let me turn it off again. Okay, now you're going to see this little red light flashing twice, and that'll just happen as many times as you lose connection. So let's just turn it off. Now it's going to flash 3 times. Okay, and that's one of the beauties of Spectrum. They give you an idea of whether any of your satellites are losing reception with the actual transmitter. Now it's a nice little feature to have, but I will say in all the 12 months I've been operating Spectrum equipment with a DX6, with a lot of Park Zone bind and fly aircraft, with the XE450, and any of the aircraft that I'm operating the Spectrum with, I have even the Mini Cylon with the DX8. It's got a similar sort of setup to this. I have never ever once on any flight ever had the red light flashing at the end of a flight. So it's good stuff, it's good quality stuff. And one thing I'm going to do tonight is I'm just going to take this receiver transmitter combo out. I did a mini range check with the MCPX, but I'm going to do a proper range check with this receiver tonight. Give me something to do down at Mum's. I need to get a life. But anyway, what I do is I just walk away until it basically loses contact, and then I just expose one aerial at a time. There's 4 antennas, 2 on the satellite and 2 on the main receiver, and I check each individual antenna to make sure it is actually contributing to the overall signal, if that makes sense. So anyway, I know a lot of that stuff you probably know already, but it just gave me something to do for the last 5 minutes, and thanks for watching.